Bulletcast for life.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are live to tape. This is the WWE recap of Stomping Grounds, where they kick ass and take names. I'm your host, the Podfather, the current reigning defending Bulletcast champion, just like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roddy Strong, and Adam Cole, baby. This title reign is hashtag forever undisputed. For life, brother. On the line via Skype, he is the Canadian Destroyer. He is the host of the award-winning Under the Radar. He's the host and creator of Curveballs and Chair Shots. Brandon, how's it going, man?
Doing great. I know you're still technically the Bulletcast champion, but I think if this championship was actually on the line for the show, I think I would have actually won, but I'm not going to complain too much. I'm just going to let that sit there.
It's okay, man. You know, Stomping Grounds, did it live up to the hype? We're going to talk about all that stuff. You know, we do have a couple fan mail questions I want to hit before we start talking Stomping Grounds from our illustrious episode we did this past Wednesday here in my estate. So, are you ready for these?
I'm ready for it. Just full warning, I'm a little lubricated, so if I sound stupid, that's the reason why I'm blaming it on the alcohol. But I think a inebriated Canadian Destroyer is still better than a sober young boy number 2.
Oh, of course. So here we go. Jack of all trades. Guys, I don't know what that was or what I just listened to, but thank you. Oh, there. All right.
You're welcome.
You
are welcome.
All right, Blue Rhino. You guys need to record in person more often. That was gold. Really? You know, I think we when we do the Bulletcast Awards for 2019, we'll be in person for that. You know, we'll keep it
I don't
special.
think it had anything to do with us being in person. I just think it had us added a third member.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's our Hulk Hogan to our outsiders.
I don't know about all that. All right, Hootie Hoo 420.
Hootie Hoo, my boy.
All right, seriously, how weird was it recording that?
Well, I mean, I don't know if does young boy number 2 actually listen to this?
I don't believe so. So go right ahead.
Well, I mean, if you skip to the 4-minute mark when we actually threw to him for the first time, I legitimately thought we're gonna have to stop recording the podcast because I thought he was gonna have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah,
I thought it was that bad.
It was that bad, but he came alive.
He got a little better, even though we might have to break the news to him that wrestling is not real.
It's a work, and you know he doesn't know that. I don't think they teach him at that academy that it's a work. But
he hasn't gotten that far in his training yet.
Oh, of course.
You know, it's like the 80s or the 70s or whatever, where you know you got to get so far. Once you have like your first match, then they smarten you up. He hasn't gotten that.
Oh,
yet.
Of course. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but never again. That's all I'll say about that. Never again. Will that young boy grace the airwaves of the BC? Kid, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. Alright, so let's talk about Stomping Grounds. First up was Becky Lynch successfully defending her Raw Women's Championship against Lacey Evans. Show opener, gave it a C+. It was okay. It didn't get to that next tier because, you know, Lacey, she's not a workhorse or anything like that. I feel like if Becky was in there with Charlotte for the umpteenth time, or a Bayley, or even Sasha Banks, it would have hit a next level and possibly would have got a B+ for me, but I gave it a C.
I thought the match was okay. I think this is going to be kind of a recurring theme for me on the show. I didn't think a lot of the matches were spectacular. I thought they delivered on what I expected them to be. This match, I thought it was better than the Charlotte-Becky match, or the Charlotte-Lacey Evans match that happened a few weeks ago that I said was probably the worst TV match I ever saw. It was better than that, which kudos to Becky for getting a little bit more out of Lacey Evans there. I mean, it told a good story. I was a little scared that maybe they would put Lacey Evans over in the match, but Becky won. It makes a lot of sense, especially what happened later on in the show where maybe they're going to start building up this power couple. I hope not, but I'm happy Becky won just because I think you need her going forward to be the top face of the women's division.
Yeah, so Sasha Banks, does she make a run in tomorrow night?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't give a grade. I think if I'm going to give a grade, I think I might be in the C range as well. Maybe a C+, maybe just a normal C. I wasn't too blown away by it, but I think this feud is over with Becky and Lacey Evans, yes, they had the little scuffle at the end of the Seth Rollins match. But I think if we're going to go next level for what's next with Becky, honestly, I think the Riot Squad is a good next step just because we haven't seen them lately. I think Ruby Riot is a good opponent. Maybe Sarah Logan, but maybe Sasha comes back. But I think if I'm going to put money on it, I would go with the Riot Squad.
Yeah, yeah. Put the wild card rule. Put them back together. Why not? They did a very nice table for three of the Riot Squad. Go check it out on the WWE Network. Very nice, very nice. All right, moving on from that, we have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeating the New Day members of Big E and Xavier Woods. Gave it a B minus. It was fun.
I think I'll go maybe a little bit above you. I'll go with like a B. I thought the Sammy going after Xavier Woods at the beginning was a nice little fun. Maybe thinking that they're going to end it quickly, but in the end, went back and forth. Pretty fun stuff there. Big E gets the hot tag, as he should, and then Xavier Woods does the job, as he should. And once again, you didn't even start to talk about the pre-show with the Cruiserweight Championship match where I picked my boy Drew Gulak to win.
Oh,
but
shout out
okay.
Drew Gulak. Shout out.
I got the first 3 matches of the card right.
I watched
that out there.
I watched that whole match. Very proud of Drew Gulak. I've been a fan of his for a couple years now. Shout out to the what is it? No dives or whatever, just headlocks. Yeah.
I don't know. I saw him on NXT. He was on NXT for a few weeks, so I picked him. And for some reason, I was right. And I should be Bulletcast champion right now, but
it wasn't on the line. Maybe
it's not on the line because someone's a Brock Lesnar over here.
Okay, hold on. Wait a second. I'm iconic. Okay. Get
Happy
it right,
Billy Kay. Happy 30th.
Oh yeah, shout out that dirty 30. No, but if the Build to Extreme rules interest me enough, then I'll throw it on the line there. Why not? Just why not?
Okay, I appreciate that. This back to the tag team match.
Yeah, of course.
It was kind of thrown out there. We could have seen this on a SmackDown any other week. So, it was a good match. We could have saw this on a SmackDown, but KO and Sammy win. As I said, 50-50 booking. New Day lose, so that means Kofi was going to win. Doesn't really help either team because KO loses all the time, but then they get this one win here, and then New Day wins, and it is what it is.
No, yeah, you knew it was either going to go New Day wins, Kofi loses, or New Day loses and Kofi wins. One or the other was going to happen. It can't be a parade like it's been in the past. All right, so Ricochet, the one and only, defeats Samoa Joe to become the new United States champion. Hell of a match. I really enjoyed Ricochet's performance. I gave it a B+. And we have some fan mail about Ricochet. So, Blue Rhino, he writes into us. Guys, Ricochet's performance was great tonight. Congrats on his title win. And have you guys heard about his backdoor shenanigans? All right.
I don't know what that last part was.
So, there is a video that has surfaced around of Ricochet playing with his backside. Yeah.
Okay. This is the after hours instant analysis of the Bulletcast. This is going to go up on public radio. We can be explicit about it, but I don't know what that has to do with his in-ring ability.
Apparently, it's a hot topic among the IWC, so I guess I see why he threw it in there. But the match was fun. I really enjoyed it. I knew the styles were going to clash well between him and Joe, and they really did. B+. Shout out Ricochet. Black excellence. Number 1 on the Black Power ranking.
I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was I'll say it was the best match of the show. I thought it was great athleticism. We both said on the Bulletcast that we were excited for this. It was one of the few fresh matchups on the card, and I think it delivered. I think they built up Ricochet nicely in the match. I thought he had some nice spots. I'm not the biggest fan of having Samoa Joe lose. I saw a tweet out on the Twitter that honestly Samoa Joe and Baron Corbin should be flip-flopped in their roles, where Samoa Joe should be in the main event and Baron Corbin is just doing U.S. title matches. But it is what it is. I don't know where you go with Samoa Joe from here, but I am excited that they are keeping Ricochet strong, have him be the U.S. champion. Hopefully we get a feud between Samoa Joe and Ricochet. Maybe we get Cesaro and Ricochet, but we have to wait and see.
I don't know, that a backstage segment with his photo shoot, the club show up and AJ was like, I'll see you on Monday. And we got Hootie Who wrote into us about that.
We got just so many questions today. I love it.
Yeah.
We're only a half hour after the show ended. We got 6 questions?
They were rolling. They were rolling in as the show went along. Hootie Who 420. Styles and Ricochet, take my money now.
Yes, I mean when I saw the backstage segment with, we get the club with AJ Styles, we get him versus Ricochet, possibly a heel turn of AJ Styles. Maybe we get like the New Japan Bullet Club AJ Styles. That could be fun to see. I mean, as he said, AJ Styles versus Ricochet. I'm hoping they don't just throw that on a random Raw and they just go 10 minutes with a smallish finish, and they hopefully they build this up to SummerSlam, and this can be maybe not a semi-main event or something, but it can be a nice solid opening or in the middle of the match
Yeah,
card match. I don't know.
when
I
was
said I'm inebriated, so I'm not the best speaker right now.
it's all right, man. When was the last time AJ had a match? Was it like Money in the Bank?
I mean I think that is correct. He wrestled Seth. He's been gone for what is it, like a month and a half at this point.
Yeah,
So
absence does make the heart grow fonder. Now AJ and Ricochet tearing it up for the U.S. title. Talk about credibility. Talk about adding credibility back to a title. I love it. All right, well, so speaking of credibility to titles, Daniel Bryan and Rowan successfully retained their SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships against Heavy Machinery. They didn't come out with the Yolo County Tag Team titles. What was up with that? What's up
it's
with
a
that?
shame. AJ Kirsch was tweeting that he was gonna be very angry if the Yolo County tag team titles not make an appearance. It did not. I'm sorry for you, AJ and Dave, but
It's okay.
I thought it was a really good match. I thought it was fun. I kind of forgot that the show was taking place in Tacoma, Washington, just a few miles away from Seattle. So obviously, D-Bry was gonna be super over.
The Tacoma Dome.
The shout out to the Tacoma Dome. Didn't exactly sell out, but
No, it did not.
the crowd was having a good time cheering on Daniel Bryan. I think it hurt the match a little bit just because obviously the roles are kind of reversed, where the crowd really wanted Daniel and Rowan to win, but obviously Heavy Machinery was the baby faces in the match. But I thought it was they told a good story, and hopefully this is the first chapter of a feud that's going to go on possibly till Extreme Rules and passed on to SummerSlam.
Yeah, I gave the match a B. Now they talk about Otis being the star of Heavy Machinery. Tucker, that big boy can move. Was he like 6'4", 320? Doing amazing agile front flips and then a moonsault and all that other, diving off the top rope.
Yeah, Otis is the more eccentric one, but I think Tucker, I think both of them together are definitely a good tag team. I think it's kind of like the quintessential tag team where you put, if each of them are singles, they might not be that great as a single star, but you put them together, I think they have a great relationship and they can be a really good tag team. So I'm hoping they don't just bury them in this feud and they can go on. Maybe they end up winning the tag titles. Maybe they just lose in the end and they have something bigger for another team, maybe AOP. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean we shall see. Are they back? AOP? Are they?
They made that surprise appearance backstage at Baron Corbin's office on SmackDown, and they had a little run-in with the Iconics. So I don't know, Akam Razor, whichever the one that was hurt, he's back. So I would love for them to Paul Heyman to manage them. I would
Okay.
love Paul Heyman to be more involved in WWE, just not with Brock Lesnar. But I think AOP
It is
is
how it is.
is a good team that Paul Heyman can manage.
Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of Paul Ellering. He loves being on the road. That's what he said. He doesn't understand why he was taken away either. Just doesn't make
Just one of
sense.
those Vince McMahon things.
He's too old. God damn it. That's probably what Vince thought. All right, moving on. We have Bayley successfully retaining her SmackDown Live Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. By the way, go check out the Alexa Bliss 365 that aired right after Stomping Grounds. I was watching it before the recording. It's a very interesting watch. You learned a little bit more about Alexa. But anyway, I gave the match a C. C plus.
I think that's pretty fair. I'd say maybe like a C plus, maybe range on to a B minus. The match itself was okay. You have kind of the story of Alexa Bliss maybe having Bailey's number. We obviously with Nikki Cross in the corner, you thought Nikki was going to get involved in some way. She kind of did, not really. Where they had the little suicide dive with Bailey, and it looked as though Alexa Bliss pushed out of the way, and Nikki Cross took the brunt of that suicide dive. But then in the end, when Alexa Bliss lost, they didn't really play up any tension. Nikki was just comforting Alexa. Alexa wasn't really selling anything. I mean, I don't know where you go from here. Do you continue with Alexa versus Bayley? Do you do the tag team title match on with the Iconics? Do you do just Nikki and Alexa? There's a lot of different ways they can go with here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I think Bliss and Nikki Cross as tag team champions. That's interesting. It reminds me of I'll say William Regal and Eugene. I'll go that route. Kind of
I think
toe the
I
line a
think
little
I
bit
was gonna
there.
go more along the lines of like a Team Hell No. I think kind of like an odd couple, maybe Booker T and Goldust, just kind of an odd couple tag team that you don't really see, being together, but for some reason it works out. And
I mean, how more odd can you get than William Regal and Eugene?
touche, but I don't really think of Eugene and William Regal having the greatest of success in WWE.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was memorable, sure, but successful, eh. Okay, Goldust and Booker. I see that one. I see
I
that
mean,
one.
I hope that I think with Nikki and Alexa, a lot of people are seeing through what Alexa's doing, and she's using Nikki. Hopefully, they don't have Nikki look like an idiot, and Alexa just uses her. But I don't know where you go with Bailey from here. The SmackDown side of the women's division isn't exactly the best in the world. You have Charlotte out there, but I don't think you want to run through that right now. I think you can save that to possibly SummerSlam, maybe hold that off to WrestleMania. I don't know, but I think honestly, I think Nikki and Alexa going against the Iconics as as a babyface tag team would is probably the best option. But I don't know if that's where they're gonna go.
Dude, this is what you do, honestly. Have Sasha come back. I know she's like training at Hog Wrestling from what I see on her Instagram or whatever. Have her come back, get that 2015 Sasha Banks, Sasha's Ratchet, no she's not, that heel badass boss character, and feud with Bailey. You're the reason why we lost the tag titles, and just have a run with that for a couple pay-per-views, man.
I mean, I want to see Sasha back eventually. Is she gonna actually come back? Is it a work? Is it a shoot? Is she gonna leave for AEW, or is she, you know, something with a contract where they just hold her out for 24 months until she's able to be released because she's not wrestling? I don't know, but I mean, Sasha, I'm hoping she comes back just because I don't really know on that SmackDown side where you go with Bailey from here because, I mean, besides Charlotte, there's not a lot of formidable wrestlers on that SmackDown women's roster.
Absolutely. I mean, throw Sonya Deville in there for a one-off pay-per-view, kind of like what they did with Rusev and AJ. It was a one-off pay-per-view. You can do stuff like that.
I do agree that maybe you could do kind of one-off pay-per-views where you just kind of build up somebody. I mean, especially with these long title reigns, possibly with Kofi and Seth, you just kind of get somebody hot. But then on the undercard, you don't really see wrestlers having these squash matches and getting built up to have these one-off matches. So it's you can't just like bring, I don't know, No Way Jose up to that kind of spot and have him just
No,
have one match and lose.
no promotions bringing No Way Jose up to that spot. No
I
promotions.
was just trying to, bring somebody up that we don't see on TV.
Buddy Murphy, where the hell is Buddy Murphy? Bring back Murphy. Sorry, I just missed Buddy Murphy.
I didn't know he was still with the company.
Okay, we know he's still with the company. He's that damn good. All right, let's talk about it. Roman Reigns defeats Drew McIntyre. Gave it a B plus. It was a damn good match. We knew this. We knew Roman was going to go over. In our heart of hearts, we wanted Drew McIntyre. I was watching this match with my mother, and she cheered Roman because she's a huge Roman mark, and she said I was cheering Drew McIntyre because he's Canadian. It results back to my recent heel turn on the Bay Area with the Warriors losing and everything, but I had to explain he's from Scotland or whatever. But yeah,
I
thoughts on
mean,
the match?
A Canadian accent, Scottish accent, they sound very similar.
No, they
I
don't.
can see where she can get mixed up.
We got a fan mail. It's from Alfie Lewis. You know the guy who wrote you, but you never responded.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Alfie.
Yeah. He said Roman really. That's all he said. That is it.
I mean, I'm kind of with him here. I mean, I thought this match was actually better than the WrestleMania match they had a few months ago, but
Absolutely.
I mean, it was good. The heat was kind of there. I thought the crowd was actually pretty decently behind Roman Reigns, but uh, nothing really spectacular here. I just don't understand why you have Roman go over. I think Drew is just so valuable, and you have him lose here again, especially when you have him being like portrayed as this monster, and he's like the kind of the reason why Shane McMahon beat Roman in the first place. But then Roman just beats him one-on-one without no interference from Shane. Yes, there was a little bit, but not too much to really write home about. But we're gonna get a handicap match on Raw tomorrow, so maybe Drew gets his win back, but I don't think that really puts the amount of heat on Drew that would have happened if he beat Roman today.
Yeah, you see, another thing, a couple days ago, he was on Sam Roberts' podcast. If anybody go back and listen to his mindset about this whole match with Roman Reigns and the feud. It gave me more umph to really want to cheer him on more. But good business was done here in the sense of Roman did not kick out of the Claymore kick, so we keep that finish strong and all that other stuff. But yeah, I felt like McIntyre should have went over. That could have pushed him into Monday Night challenging Seth for the Universal title. Yeah.
I mean, the heel side on Raw and maybe SmackDown as well, I think is a little weak. So, I mean, you had maybe the strongest heel. Now that Lars Sullivan is out, you have Drew McIntyre in there is probably the strongest heel in the company. You have him just lose to Roman Reigns on this. He lost back at WrestleMania. And you look around and what's like another dominant heel that believably can go up against Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns and Kofi Kingston. I don't really know anybody who can really be in that position.
Yeah, Lars could have been that way, but he hurt himself beating up some Mexicans.
But I mean, I don't think Lars was really on the fast track to
No.
be in that main event slot. I mean, maybe you can see him at Survivor Series or in the fall, but I don't think we're going to see him wrestle Kofi at SummerSlam.
Nah, apparently he's out for like the rest of the year. He's
Yeah, I
out for
mean,
like
I was hearing 6 to 9 months, something with his knee. Not exactly sure what it was, but hopefully, wishing him a speedy recovery. Maybe he can come back for Royal Rumble. Maybe a hot shot WrestleMania match against whatever babyface. I mean, maybe Roman Reigns defeats Shane McMahon for the title at whatever Survivor Series or Royal
dude,
Rumble, and we get
that's
Roman
been
Reigns versus
circling
Lars.
around a lot lately. I've seen on the internet. I said it as a joke. If that actually happens, oh my god.
I mean, you can't trust any. If you can't trust anyone, you got to do it yourself. So that's why Shane's got to be the champion.
I understand.
All these ratings going down. You got to have a McMahon be champion.
Gotta go into business for yourself, brother. Speaking of Shane McMahon, tomorrow is the was it like the 18-year anniversary of his King of the Ring match with Kurt Angle. Go watch that. It was brutal. It was all hell. Broken tailbones, bruised tailbones, the whole 9 yards. Everybody gets concussed. It's a whirlwind.
I saw on Instagram today it was 16 years to the day that Kane unmasked. So shout out to Kane.
Yeah, it's a lot of anniversaries are coming up. A lot of anniversaries. All right, next up we have Kofi Kingston, the first African-born WWE champion, successfully retaining the WWE Championship inside of a steel cage against my boy Dolph Ziggler. Gave it a B minus.
I mean, I might go a little bit lower, maybe like a C plus. I thought the match was okay. I didn't really get the story that they were trying to tell because Kofi being the babyface, I think he tried to escape the cage first, but I don't think should ever happen with the babyface trying to escape the cage. The babyface should always try to win inside the ring, but and then Dolph he didn't he was supposed to wrestle as though he was like, it should have been me. I need to win this because this is to prove my legacy, but yet he was just wrestling like it was any old match. In the end, the finish was kind of cool with Kofi diving through the ropes last second, but nothing real spectacular. I think in recent history, cage matches have kind of not lived to our expectations just because maybe the cage kind of hinders the movement in the ring. But I thought the show itself was pretty good, but I think the last two matches where we could think, oh, I mean, I think especially this match, I thought this match could have been really, really good, but I thought it kind of disappointed, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like if Dolph won, I was ready to mark out, and then I was ready to come on here and give like a 15-minute monologue about why Dolph Ziggler should be the WWE champion. I could do that now, but I'm not going to. But yeah, it didn't live up to the hype to me. I liked how New Day wasn't at ringside for it, so good stuff. Showing Kofi can do it by himself. Where do we go Tuesday night? Does he go just back to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? I would hope not. Like, let's build somebody else up, have a tournament six-pack challenge, something to get somebody else in that WWE title picture for like a one-off or two match stretch. We'll see.
I mean, someone who hasn't been on TV all that often is Randy Orton. We never really know who Randy Orton is in terms of he's a heel or babyface. I think having him in an Extreme Rules match against Kofi Kingston for a one-off for Extreme Rules, I think could be fine. I don't know where you go. Like, if you're gonna go with like a marquee match for SummerSlam, do you just build up to Roman and Kofi, or do you do Shane beating Kofi and then you do Shane and Roman? I God hope that doesn't happen, but you never know. As I said, the heel side of the top tier main event for WWE isn't looking all that hot. Not a lot of believable main event heels right now.
It's not. There was no R-Truth on this show. I was a little disappointed.
He's probably hiding a crate somewhere.
Yeah, I believe it. Art R-Truth. He's one of those things to watch on WWE TV, man. He's hilarious with that 24/7 title. 24/7 truth all day. All right, last up, it was the main event. It was Seth Rollins going on to successfully retain the WWE Universal Championship against Baron Corbin. Special guest referee Lacey Evans. I knew this already. I'll tell you how. So I was scrolling through Instagram a couple of days ago, and WWE posted a photo of Rollins, Corbin, and Lacey Evans in the referee shirt, and then they quickly deleted it. Took a screenshot of it. But yeah, so when Corbin announced that, I'm like, oh wow, they actually went through with that. And then of course Becky runs in, all this other stuff, curb stomp, chicanery. Rollins wins.
Shout out to my boy Wade Keller. He predicted that there was going to be some sort of woman involved as the referee
He
because
saw the same photo I did.
I don't know. I mean, I think he was talking about this. I don't know when the photo came up, but I think he was talking about it Tuesday or Wednesday. And it makes sense where Seth Rollins is the babyface, and he's not going to want, you're not going to want your babyface to just attack a woman with a steel chair. The crowd was poo-pooing all over the announcement. I don't know if they wanted Brock, if they were expecting somebody else to come out, Elias, The Rock, I don't know, but especially the first half of that match was kind of entertaining for all the wrong reasons because there was just bad chants going on, and the story, it was predictable. I didn't really talk about it, but I kind of thought that John Cone was going to come out to save the day for Seth Rollins because that was kind of the story they talked about in Saudi Arabia. And Becky Lynch, she can, Lacey Evans screwed over her boyfriend all she wanted, but then once she hit him in the dick, that's when you cross the line, and that's when Becky came out.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, we actually have a fan. We have a fan mail about that too. So
Look at so much fan mail. I love it. I wish I could get this on under the radar, but it's okay.
I'll tell these guys to write in, Matt. Who he seems to be your biggest fan, but he doesn't write in.
utrmailbag@gmail.com. I will be doing under the radar. My last one for a week or two on Monday.
Yeah,
so get him in.
He's going on hiatus, and then I have to find a replacement for the next.
I mean,
2 weeks.
I think you found your replacement, but
oh no, not the young boy. No, I can't do it.
All right. I mean, it seemed like the people loved him. Maybe for the wrong reasons, but
yeah, absolutely. I should just put together like an audio compilation of his breathing and his his outlandish behavior because it was all great. It was all A1. But here we go. Blue Rhino.
Blue Rhino talking about a relationship.
Yep, you already know. It's not Blue Chew. It's Blue Rhino. There we go. Lacey Evans attacking Seth Rollins in that area really set off Becky. She went out there to claim her area because when the man comes around, she claims her territory. All right. Okay.
I apparently I missed the shot where Becky might have slapped Seth on the old behind, but I saw it on the Twitter. So
I saw that. Yeah. Honestly, they had the camera on them for a while. I was like, oh, is she gonna turn on him? But no.
I don't think we're going to see a Becky Lynch heel turn on Seth Rollins, but
I would have loved it.
I mean, I'm not going to like sit here and say I'm going to poo-poo Becky and Seth being together on screen, but maybe it's just them kind of lazy booking, just having them together because like, oh, people love Seth, people love Becky, put them together. It's an easy crowd pleasing moment at the end. I think it's kind of lazy booking, just having Lacey come out there and then having Becky and maybe putting two feuds together and have the mega babyface champion relationship at the end. But I don't know where you go from here, especially for Extreme Rules, maybe because I think Seth, you're gonna have someone go towards SummerSlam, and that's gonna be the big match. But I think maybe Extreme Rules. Hopefully you don't get another match out of Baron Corbin with this, but I'm kind of scared that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's something. If they're going to do it, give it to us tomorrow night on Raw. Let it be the end and get somebody else to that title picture. Well, yeah, I guess that'll do it for us. This was the recap for WWE Stomping Grounds. They kick ass and take names. All that happened. What's your overall show grade, Brandon?
Overall show grade, I had pretty low expectations for this match or for the show. I wouldn't say they exceeded them. I would say maybe a B minus. I thought all the matches were fine. I didn't really like the main event. I thought it was just kind of, it was there. People just kind of crapping all over the Lacey Evans announcement. The WWE title cage match wasn't exactly up to par, but I thought all the other matches on the undercard really delivered. I'll go with the B minus. It wasn't like a terrible show by any means, but it was just kind of there.
Yeah, it wasn't Super Showdown. In my opinion, I thought it might have snuck in and been like Great Balls of Fire, that 2017 pay-per-view that had Joe and Brock main event, where the name was terrible, but it was a sneaky good pay-per-view. This one, the name was terrible. Was it sneaky good? No, it was average to mediocre, if best, but yeah. So my C plus, B minus, something around there. It's towing between like 78% and 80%. It's towing between there.
Yeah, I mean, the wrestling right now in WWE isn't really the problem. It's more the storytelling. And I thought Ricochet and Samoa Joe was the best match. I think, honestly, the worst match of the show was probably the main event just because of the story behind it. And, I mean, a special guest referee match, usually there's going to be a heel special guest referee. So it's not the best crowd pleasing of match in the world, so there's always chicanery and stuff involved with that. And I mean, I don't think it was the best way to end the show, but
yeah, it's something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for us. The next time you will hear Brandon will be his Under the Radar show. Is that tomorrow?
Yep, because I am leaving for Portugal, the homeland, on Tuesday.
Oh yes. And then you'll hear from me either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm trying to find a replacement for CD over here, but we'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Remember, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram The Bulletcast, YouTube channel The Bulletcast. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Patreon, 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 to 10 p.m. This video will be up in a couple minutes, or actually probably like in a couple hours on YouTube. Audio will be up relatively quickly. Brandon, thanks for joining me for the recap, man. I'll look to hear from you in a couple weeks, man.
Thank y'all very much. I'll see you in 2 weeks. utrmailbag@gmail.com if you have any questions for your boy.
Yep. All right. This has been the Boys of the BC. Goodbye and good night. Day.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.